Hey everybody, this is Jeff Antoniuk. Welcome to the Advanced Jazz Learning Techniques video series. This is the third series that I'm doing. These are all archived, by the way, on YouTube if you're not catching it live right now on Facebook. Anyway, this series, this is the first video in a total of 10 that we're going to be doing. I'm a full-time player. I do a lot of teaching. And I do a lot of group teaching. I work with adult students, I work with professionals, I've done college teaching, so I've got a pretty wide range of experience with teaching jazz both in a group and individual setting, and that's what I want these 10 videos to be about. I want to share some of what I've found. And this is something that I think is interesting as I talk to some of my friends. Many of my students stay with me for 5, 6, 8 years. I have students that stay with me for 10 or 15 years. So I think I've found some ways to get the information out in a way that isn't overwhelming, that keeps people coming back. And to me, that's an important part of what I love to do, especially with adult students. So anyway, that's what I want to cover in this video series, helping teachers find some of these great techniques that I know work. I'd love to share them with you. And the great thing is this is going to work for players too, some of these concepts. By the way, I have a PDF booklet that goes along with this series, 10 or 11 pages here. I'd love to send it to you. I don't want this to be a passive experience for you, to sit and watch a video, click and watch another video. That's too passive. That's not going to get anybody anywhere. So I want you engaged with me on this, and these worksheets will sort of help you think and get a little deeper into this information if you want to do it that way. But that's what I'm most interested in doing, is being engaged and in communication. So if you send me an email, jeffantoniuk@gmail.com, I'll get you this information and we'll go from there. So I tell you what, today I want to talk about how versus what. That's simple. And I find in my life and in my music that when I can create a sort of a duality, like this versus that, black and white, that can help me a lot. A lot of us suffer from pretty serious decision paralysis. Too many options, especially these days with information everywhere and the internet and everything. That can really freak people out. It's not good. And of course, we don't want to overgeneralize and oversimplify, thinking there's only this and that way to do things. But this is a really good way to think, and I'm going to share with you some of the ways I do this. So how versus what? So how we play something versus what we are playing. I think there's a lot to be learned here. It's so simple, but I see so many people get it wrong. I've seen name brand, like world famous people come and do workshops and them not get it right, and they lose the room. It's bad teaching. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to play a couple courses of B-flat blues, and so that is what I'm going to do, play the B-flat blues, and what I'm going to do is stick mostly to chord tones. I'm going to challenge myself to do that, and so this is going to be 80, 90, 95% chord tones. So here we go. That's the what I'm doing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Some non-chord tones in there, but I think if you total up those couple hundred notes, mostly chord tones. So what I was doing was incredibly simple. I hope how I was doing it made it interesting. So what I'm here to tell you is that people spend too much time on the whats. They pile up more whats, more licks to play, more scales to play. Can I do this in 12 keys? They do that to the exclusion of thinking about how they are doing things. So what I would say, to make it simple, what we are doing involves notes, right? So it could be an etude, it could be a scale, it could be a lick, etc., etc. So the whats we're practicing. And we jazz musicians go crazy collecting more whats. And as a teacher, I can tell you that I can make a band sound better in 5 minutes, not by giving them more whats, but talking about how they are doing things. So that's a subjective list. I'd love to know what you think about it. good time is an important how, right? Or are we grooving? That's a deeper thing. Actually, I was talking about that on a previous video I did, one of the in-between episodes, parent rhythms. And actually a lot of my teaching revolves around hows. So many of my previous videos are going to be talking about that stuff. So how we were doing things. Was it rhythmically interesting? Was it motivic? Did it refer to itself? Call and response. Those are how we play. And so I hope that what I just played, what it was tremendously simple. I hope how I played it made it at least somewhat interesting. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. It's that easy, that simple. I went to my son's all-county concert last week. I heard the middle school and high school bands playing. So check this out. And I adjudicate these kind of bands, somewhat regularly. And this is a great way for teachers to think. So as I was listening to that concert, I don't know that I heard that many wrong notes sitting back there, 50 rows back. The whats sounded pretty good. And frankly, I couldn't point out in this measure, this instrument played a wrong note. I guarantee there were hundreds of wrong notes, but at the back of the room, I couldn't hear them. I heard a lot of hows that were not right, stylistic imperfections, tempo problems, grooves where the entire band did not quite understand what was supposed to be happening with the music. So were I conducting that band, and I'm sure the conductor did this, great conductor, work on the hows. When I'm working, especially with ensembles, when I think about those, when I divide not what but how. Now here's where a lot of teachers get it wrong, is they will pile on more whats. Oh, that tune didn't sound good. Well, let's talk about tritone substitutes. No, let's not. That tune didn't sound good. Well, let's play it Afro-Cuban style. No, that's not going to make it sound better. It's interesting, it's challenging, but it's not going to make it sound better. Let's talk about how we did what was going on there. Let's analyze why it wasn't swinging, why it sped up, those kind of things. Let's actually, those simple ideas, but I've just seen it so many times, I needed to make this video. I see it regularly from teachers and then from folks practicing, that they just keep accumulating more information and wonder why they're not sounding better. And frankly, that was me in college. I was accumulating transcriptions, piling up the transcriptions I was doing, learning all these licks in 12 keys, but not thinking about what to do with them and how to use them. So many of the upcoming videos are actually going to be talking about that sort of information, about how we make the rubber hit the road, both teaching an individual, or me, myself, practicing, how we can do it individually. But a lot of this really works with coaching bands, which is a lot of what I do. So anyway, as I said, I'd love to send this off to you. This will sort of help you enact some of this information. As I said, I don't want this to be a passive experience. If that's what you would like, that's fabulous, but that's not my intent. My intent here is for people to take this information and really get moving. I'm on a mission to get this great information out there and to get people playing this music more around the country. So I'd love to talk to you about that too. So I think I'm going to end it right there. It's that simple, but I challenge you to sort of think in that very binary way when you're listening to somebody. What are they doing and how are they doing it? And that very simple division can really help you dig deeply into what's going on, or into your own playing for that matter. So thank you very much. I appreciate you tuning in. There are 9 more videos coming up in this series, and if you haven't seen the previous 2 series, please check them out. You can go to the YouTube channel, Jeff Antoniuk Educator, and everything's up there. Please email me at jeffantoniuk@gmail.com, and I would love to send you the PDF of essentially the guide for this Advanced Jazz Learning Techniques series. So thank you so much, and hope we'll be in contact. Take care.